So chest falls to the ground. Taking breaths here as well. Good. We're gonna come up and first challenging posture of the day is gonna be down facing dog. So we're just gonna go from here to lifting legs up, pushing the hips towards the ceiling, and just holding this. We won't hold it as long as the others. It's almost like you're doing like a handstand. Take a few deep breaths. And what we'll do is we'll take the right leg in the air. So you the three-legged dog. So left leg is still gonna be on the ground, left foot's gonna be on the ground. And then we'll come back to high plank. When we come back to the high plank, we're gonna drop the right leg out to the side. All right. The right foot's gonna hit the ground. Coming back to high plank. Jen, come all the way back to high plank and then take your right foot, place it on the ground, and then you're gonna drop your left knee. All right. So we'll be in dragon. So right foot is on the ground. No, y'all can see that. And
My Lord.
Boy.
Man.
And your hands are gonna be on the insides of your knees. So hands are on the insides of your knees, and you're just kind of hinging forward.
Ah,
So we're still stretching out the glutes. So it's deeper than the other ones a little bit. Ty, you're gonna straighten out your other leg that's on the ground, the knee that's on the ground. Straighten it out. Yeah, perfect. And then he's gonna kind of hands inside.
That's very different. I get it.
yeah, man.
And for this one, hands might be good for some of y'all. If you want to try to deepen this one, you can drop to your elbows as well.
Won't be happening today, coach.
Hands is fine. Hands are fine.
Right.
We're just trying to give y'all some options.
Uh,
Take a few breaths. Few more breaths. And then let's come back up. All right. So we're gonna come back up on the hands. And what we're gonna do If it's your right leg that's down, you're gonna leave your left hand on the ground, turn your chest towards your knee. All right. If it's your left leg that's on the ground, you leave your right hand on the ground, and you're gonna turn chest towards the knee. All right. And then we'll come back down. All right. So we're gonna do spinal twist. So we're just twisting towards front knee. Yeah, that's it, Jen. You're gonna turn towards the knee. Perfect. And then back down towards your mat. Hands are gonna be on the mat and then twisting. And we'll do this for 3 more breaths. Last one. Good. After that, we're gonna come up. We're gonna do lizard stretch. I mean runner stretch. So runner stretch, like today's like the half kneeling hip flexor stretch that we normally do. You're on the knee. It's gonna go forward. And we're actually just gonna hold it today. So normally we'll pulse forward and continue to pulse. This time we're just gonna go forward. Here's a good time for the pillow. If you need the pillow, put the pillow under your knee. Um, could be more comfortable for you. But we're just taking deep breaths, and you will contract your glutes. You're just kind of contracting your glute of the knee that's down. Excellent. Let's come out. We put both knees on the ground. We're gonna etch towards the front of our mat. We're gonna do the other side here in a second, but let's do like toe stretch. So we're gonna be on your knees, make sure your toes are tucked in, and then you're just gonna kind of sit back on your heels. So this is more like stretching your toes. So like the toes are dug into the mat. So they're dug into the mat first, and then we're sitting back onto our heels. So the tension is gonna be at the toes. So just taking deep breaths here. Then we're talking about the back, and we're stretching the hips, but also giving some attention to our ankles, frees up our knees, and frees up our hips as well. All right. So this is good for ankle mobility. Take slow, deep breaths. Kind of noticing the sensation of your feet. Good. We'll come out of that. Untuck the toes. Kind of beat your feet against the mat a little bit. And we're gonna do the hips. So we're gonna do lizard on the other side, right? So we're going to we won't do downward facing dog to get into it, but we'll just kind of take the leg out to the side.
Appreciate you, coach.
Take the back leg out.
We're looking out for the church this morning. Ooh, mercy.
And taking some nice full inhale, exhale breaths here. All right. This posture might be, you might have a good deep stretch here where we are on our hands. If you want to deepen it more, you can drop to your elbows. You don't have to. You can use a pillow under your elbows if the elbows is too much, create too much of a stretch.
Ah.
Still taking inhale, exhale breaths. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen as you take the breath. You might even notice some stretch to your hips, inner thighs, glutes. Few more breaths. Good, and then we're gonna walk out of that, and we're gonna come up. My left knee's out front. I'm leaving my right hand on the ground, taking the left fingers towards the ceiling, and then back towards the ground. And just taking breath as I'm turning towards the front knee. Good. We're coming out of that. We're gonna come all the way up. So now we're gonna hit runner's stretch. So tucking the back toe in, driving right hip forward, hip in alignment, tightening the glute of the right knee. If the right knee is on the ground, if the left, his left knee on the ground, he's gonna squeeze left glute. But just driving forward, getting more stretching into your hip. Excellent. Put both knees on the ground. We're not putting no toes on the ground. We're just gonna put the heels on the ground this time. So now you're sitting on your heels. All right, so this will be a tough stretch. It's for the anterior hip. So we're sitting on the heels, right?
Mm.
And we're gonna walk the hands to the side, push your chest towards the ceiling. All right. You can lean back so your head is gonna be on your, your neck or the base of your skull is gonna be on your shoulders. You're looking towards the ceiling. You can have your fists on the ground, or you can have your hands on the ground. And it's taking a few deep breaths here. Squeeze your glutes, so kind of thrust your hips.
Oh.
This anterior hip stretch. If you need to come out of this, you can come out of this and then just kind of go back into it. So Marvin, you sit on your heels. So sit on
Man, it bothers my right knee to do that because, like, I'm feeling like when I go all the way back, I'm feeling something in my right knee.
put the pillow on your knee first and see if that helps. If it don't, that's fine. One another thing you can do
Oh.
is like you can go towards like let's say like if I just went towards the right side instead of putting both hands on the ground, I'm just putting my right hand on the ground and leaning back, and I'm getting the stretch on one side. And then if
Okay.
that's too much, go to the left side, put your left hand on the ground and turn.
Okay.
It's cool. It might be something that if we start rolling your quads more
Yeah.
before this stretch in the future.
Okay.
Jen, try dropping to your elbows now. Y'all stay where y'all are. So we're gonna drop to your elbows and then put your arms above your head. Like that. So you just lay back. Yep, you just gonna lay all the way back onto your mat, and then take your arms above your head. Like hold your elbows with your hands. Oh, okay. And then take a few deep breaths. And then squeeze your glutes, kind of pushing your hips towards the ceiling. Again, this is anterior hip stretch, a little bit of spine, but definitely quads.
Boy, you trying to kill us today, boy.
All right, we'll slowly come up and out of that. And um, we're gonna sit, legs out in front of us,
Oh.
hinge at the waist, grab it. You taking the peace fingers and grabbing the big toes. Chest stays up. You don't have, if you can't touch your toes, that's fine. You can rest your hands on your ankles, right? That's cool. Keeping the chest up, shoulder blades back, right? If you can, you're gonna grab your big toes with your peace fingers, still squeezing the shoulder blades. You're gonna use the arms to pull you towards your feet. Feet are flexed, toes towards the nose. So you're gonna feel a calf stretch. And then we'll come out of that. Take our shoulder blades, kind of roll them backwards. Roll them forwards. Hands on the ground. We're gonna look up towards the ceiling. Take a few deep breaths here. You're stretching the front of your neck. So you want the back of your head or base of your skull on your shoulders. And then we are going to go ahead and sit all the way back. We'll do a savasana. So just shoulder blades on the ground, hips on the ground. I'll take the sole of my feet and place them together, let my knees spiral out towards the ground. You can choose that as a posture, or you can straighten your legs out completely. Either or is fine. You could turn your hands towards the ground or hands towards the ceiling. And then we're just going to notice the rise and fall of our chest. So we take a few breaths. Gaze is soft or eyes are closed. Notice the temperature of air as air enters your nostrils and exits your nostrils. Notice the weight of your head, shoulders, lower back against your mat. Take another deep breath. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you all for practicing with me today and for pushing through little technical difficulties, but all good. Hips should be nice and stretched out.
Mm. Yeah. Appreciate you, coach.
No problem. I'll see y'all in the gym tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
No problem.